When they did meet, it was Vandenberg who came out on top 6-3. Another one of those matches where Dobie averaged in three figures, well into three figures, by the way,
21.
and got beaten. 104.45 to be precise.
Yeah, I can't decide whether that's a good habit or a bad habit he's in. I mean, if you're going to lose, it's nice to lose playing well, but ideally don't lose. And there's been a bit too much of that for Dobie in his debut Premier League campaign. Double 14 then. Bit of a mess with the first start, a rescue with the second, and completion with the third for a hold of throw in 5 visits to the ball. Again, one dart doesn't throw him out of his comfort zone. He's right back at finding the trebles. I think there's an argument for staying there to leave double 13, you know. As it is, he's only coming to the board with potentially one dart at double. If he'd got another treble 20. Oh, how about this? It may not matter. Double 11 for a 1-4-2, Chris Dobie. There's daylight courtesy of that blockbuster finish from Hollywood.
The seedings come from for these events. Andrew Gilding, by beating Johnny Clayton, has already leapfrogged him.
He has, but this isn't over yet. The 1-7-7 from Dimitri Vandenberg gets him down to a finish. Dobie will be on a better one. First 180 of the match for Dobie.
And it puts him on a very makeable finish as he tries to head
56.
towards that checkered flag.
Lovely dart, single 18, for double 16.
91.
Well, that was a Dimmy double, wasn't it?
108.
Based on what we've witnessed in this match, now can Dimmy do a Dobie?
He could still do it, but he needed the treble 19.
48. Christian Riguard 16.
So, to make this hill turn into a mountain for Vandenberg to climb. A 5-2 lead for Chris Dobie. And much of that damage
140.
leaving Dimitri Vandenberg in a really unenviable position here, and the game could be over after these next 3 darts.
79. Christian 121.
He should get a match dart. He does get a match dart. And takes it out, Chris Dobie. Majestic finishing from Hollywood. He may have lost to the Belgian in the Premier League, but a couple of ton-plus finishes have helped exact some revenge, and Dobie is through to the final day of the German Darts Grand Prix.
If they don't amass enough ranking points to get to Ali Pali, I mean, Martin Schindler's going to be fine, but someone like Pascal Ruprecht, Florian Hempel, who won it last year, and Ricardo Pietreczko, the strength and depth of German darts has never been like this before.
I was thinking before that shot he needed 2 trebles. He got 2 trebles.
84.
Gives himself a chance here. Remember, he had the 1-2-9 on the bullseye yesterday to win the match against Owen. How about the 1-2-4 to level the match here? No. Not to be, and Noppert will return to get a little bit of daylight.
Danny will go for the 25, in my opinion, but he doesn't have to.
41.
People who like double 16 love treble 11 here, but Danny will fancy the 25. Gets it. Double top. Doesn't get any better than that. It's happened many, many times. If you think about when Rennie Idams played MVG at the Worlds, he was dragged into a battle when in fact he should have got rid of that well before it was the case. You have standards for yourself before a dart is even thrown, but then your standards change based on circumstances that you see. So you see your opponent scoring 97, you think, well, if I get a 140 here, that's great. But if he's scoring 58, you think, well, tons are good now. Your standards change.
Well,
it takes strength of mind to stay at the level that you want.
A ton would be good now, and this could be a real key exchange in this contest. Either Mandel Lawrence claws back to a single leg, or Noppert gets a chance to pull 3 clear. But it's 2 at tops.
This is where the bendy point might help him. Because I guarantee you, if that was, you'd much rather have 130 than 129. Because you've got 2 cracks at the treble 20 for a shot at either double 5 or the bull. You can find yourself a bit cornered on 129. This is a huge, huge shot. It's on the Noppert throw, takes it, this crowd goes mad, and he will be favoured for the game again. This time he can't sneak it underneath. So Noppert, after 4 visits, looking to get his second 5-visit leg of the match.
Well, you mentioned a good choice from Liam. Noppert could have gone for the bull, been on a 2-darter here. Instead, he's got to use all 3. And he doesn't find a treble.
People make tactical errors against Liam Mandel Lawrence. Robert did it yesterday. Danny has done something marginal right there.
Well, the crowd on Easter Sunday egging him on.
Got to be 25 bull now. Right, that looks pretty inviting. Same weight of dart, slightly left. Off the flight, and in! We have a tied game! And Danny's in trouble again. Noppert with the more difficult chance, but he gets first crack. I guarantee you this. Regardless of what Noppert does with this last dart, and he really does want to leave double 12. Not quite, but if this goes in, this place will no longer be indoors.
For a real roof raiser. Not to be. Can he leave himself on tops and pile the ultimate amount of pressure on Danny Noppert?
It's an awful lie for the 60. And even with that flexible point, he cannot find his way through. So Noppert to do it again for the 2nd time in 8 days.
His tops.
Game shot.
And Noppert nicks it again. He silences the Munich crowd, defeats the hometown hero, who ran him close once more.
Yeah, but you have got people wearing different trousers these days. Alan Suter, John Henderson, Peter Wright, 97. Adam Warner. I like it. And even Stevie McNally, remember him?
I do.
The hobo. In Vienna, he wore a pair of trousers that had his nickname all over them.
Branding opportunity for the hobo. And we've not seen on the Euro Tour for quite some time. Adam Warner is going to get another chance to win a leg. Can he finally take that chance? No, 52. He cannot. And it might be 3-0 to the world number 1. 57.
Or as they say locally, 3-0.
Michael Smith.
But it's what works. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, I like that shot from Michael Smith going to the bullseye to leave him a single to double combination, whether he hits the bull or the 25. Oh, yes. Yes, Adam Warner. He's nodding, he's eyeing it up. He's going to the bullseye again. He has missed and missed and missed going for this. What if he took it out for a 170?
On the green, but not in the hole, as Chris Murphy would say. And now because Michael Smith left 31, that one came out of the hand late. You just saw enough when he let that dart go that the shoulder was engaged. And now Warner can draw level. It's conceivable that this could have been a match shot.
Adam Warner. Big deep breath, calms himself down. misses again. He has had darts to win the first 6 legs of this.
Double 2.
3.
He looks very uncomfortable.
8.
And just to nick what you were saying, Dan, Adam doesn't look uncomfortable. He looks like he's enjoying every second of this. He's enjoying it a little bit more now.
He was 3-0 down to the top-ranked player on the planet. But Adam Warner is going to get 2 darts to go a leg away.
74.
That was a bit of a cagey effort at that double 8. I'm sure it flicked a little bit of flight on the way through. And if he'd have snagged that single 16, he could have found himself back
8.
even behind Michael Smith. But fortunately, he's coming back for double 4. And he has missed it this time.
Agony for Adam Warner. 70. Busts his score. Is that a decisive moment? Double top.
30.
Been very up and down on tops.
Adam, you require 8.
The highest checkout we've had in this match is 57. Nobody has hit a double first time of asking, apart from in the very first leg. And double 4 is hit by Adam Warner.
Still, the mere mention of Felix McGrady makes Chris Mason have nightmares. Sorry, Chris. He's going to be joining you in the Netherlands at the end of the month, isn't he?
He is,
Bit of Mace on the Euro Tour.
99.
Oh, now then.
Michael, you require 160.
116, not seen a ton plus checkout in this match as yet. Is there one here?
96.
No, there isn't. And Adam Warner, who's already missed the ball for a 170 checkout in this match, is going to have another crack at it.
No.
And if he does, it is game over.
No. Surely not. Look how close it was.
100.
Smith can't miss this time. Double 5 again. And this time it's in. And just to echo what Dan said earlier, we're going into leg 11.
I wonder whether that visit could hurt him.
85.
There's not enough coming back from Michael Smith. He has had 10.5 legs to muster something. He hasn't even found a 15-darter in this game, the world #1. Adam Warner, he's not even thinking about... I like this. I really like this play. I love that board management.
That shows presence of mind. And I think Smith
100
is ready to press the exit button.
Adam Warner's going to press it for him. Double 16 to beat the world #1. It is without doubt the biggest win of his life if he pulls it off. And he hasn't done it just yet. And Michael Smith had a dart at top for a 116 in the last leg.
160.
Double top. And he escapes! He doesn't exit! He escapes! It was not a good game.
We have seen a fair few seeded departures. I think 5 now. Michael Smith almost made it 6.
Absolutely. 3 180s now for Gerwyn Price.
96.
All of them have come on his own throw, which does make him very difficult to break. Oh.
7.
Persevered.
It was broken, wasn't he, in the first leg, despite the 180, but Barney hit one back in that.
Yes. Yes, you can break him if he hits 180, but you're going to have to do something good yourself. 18 for tops. They go back into the lead. Ooh, and a roar as well. Gerwyn Price. Well, better counting than Robert Owen yesterday, I'll say that. Maximum for Varney.
Yeah, second of the match, sixth of the event.
108, so it leaves you
Just carry on there, Gezi.
194.
Bring them lads in from the crowd. They want to know what's going on.
Oh,
yeah, that'll do. Yeah, that'll do. That is wild,
60,
that first one.
in
It's
your
gone at a weird angle. I'm
134.
not really sure what's going on with Barney's throw.
Yeah, this could be the point for Price. Maybe not in this visit, but the leg is there to be won. Unless Barney can bail himself out. Well, Price is... I think Gerwin Price has turned into Robert Owen here.
Well, he's eventually got to the right numbers there.
56.
1, 2, 2 left with 2
Ready,
darts.
140.
Bullseye, because 25 leaves you 97. You can hit a treble and leave a double. Barney continues to miss that treble by quite a long way.
60, Gerwin, you require 78.
Yeah, he will leave one of his preferred doubles, whatever happens here. And it is the Price preference. And in it goes, as it so often does. Yeah, not top price, but certainly good value for the win.
116. $60, Gerwin, you require 69.
Treble 15, I would think. 14 for tops. For 5-2 as the Iceman gets his grip on this game. That's exactly what happens.
Does have one of the Euro Tour's 13 9-dart finishers, Gerwin Price.
140.
If only that first dart was a slither lower.
Well, you know what Price wants here. He wants treble 20, treble 20, treble 7. Oh.
99.
But he leaves himself 82 for the match, and it might be the first 4-visit leg of the match. The average has gone over a ton for Gerwin Price.
Gerwin, you require 82.
Okay. You can still do it. And it'll be double 12.
And he loves that double. And he loves beating Barney, and he seems to be beating everybody, and he's always doing it with a 3-figure average. Gerwin Price once again performs on the European Tour.
But if you consider what he did in 2022, does he get anywhere near the credit he deserves? He won on the floor, he beat Gary Anderson in a final, and that was a stupendous win against someone who was playing the best start of their entire year in Gary Anderson that day. He won the World Cup and a European Tour event, and he got very little in the way of column inches.
True.
57.
Might get something out of this leg.
108.
Predominantly through his career, I have said that Damon is, without a shadow of a doubt, the best double 16 combination shooter in the world. And he's just proved me right on cue. That's what Damon does best, where he will tense up on the second and third darts. And where he put his last dart in the 60, that's where he's got to find with the dart that he throws first. Much better. Now he can attack the flight and try and nestle them in. Look at what happens after that. That was a really good visit from Damon. I know I say it a lot, but when you get that first dart in, it takes so much pressure off. And now it's a 158. Could have been 3-1 Clements.
Still could be. Paul mentioned this is expected to be a bit of a 50-50 match. There's only one place between them in the world rankings right now. Clemens opting to split. And can't hit
Then you require 100.
I didn't think he could get closer to that 32 bed and not hit it, but he did. Now, I think the 16s are calling here because the flight's in the way. Oh, so wrong. But that dart was also right. And that one is oh so in. Boy, did he measure that one well. The players tonight, he is 8th in total 180s. Stop it, Damon. Honestly, amazing. And he gives it the full Leighton Hewitt as well.
I think that's the reverse curse from a commentator, isn't it?
Wow,
fabulous,
what a leg.
fabulous leg of darts.
81.
Maximum visits certainly not dry in this leg, but Heta only gets a dart at the ball.
56.
Whistle past the wire.
He was close on the 124, even closer on the 81. Clemens should take the lead. That was a dream guide as well.
20.
Not the dream result.
Then you require 25.
And Mrs. German Giant can't watch.
Well, Heta has deserved this chance with a couple of
Heta.
maximums in the leg, but had to rely on 3 missed at double from that man.
Averaging around 94.5 for the season. Last year, it was probably a good 4.5 points on that. Most part of the year, he was one of the premier players in all of darts.
46.
And there have been good days. I look back at the 19th of February when he had 3 matches in Players' Championship 4 and he averaged over 100 in every game. But he still got knocked out in the board final to guess who?
100.
Oh, there you go. It was Jim Williams.
89.
But there's another 180 from Damon.
Yes, meaning that Clemens has to hit, simply has to hit double 5, and hasn't hit. And now Heta can wrap up the match. Double 16 to do so. Damon is a demon on this double, and he proves to be the downfall of Gabriel Clemens here. The number 2 seed safely through.
Yeah, you could make a very strong case for Peter Wright being the best player in the world in 2017. And had he won the Premier League, I think that would have been an even stronger case. And that, of course, is during peak Van Gerwen years.
Am I right in thinking as well?
44.
Just looking back at his history, did he win any Players' Championships in 2017? He did, in Milton Keynes. And wasn't that the day after, was it the weekend after the Premier League? I know Mark Webster talks about that a lot, and the bounce back ability of Wright after losing the Premier League final. It's extraordinary.
Yeah, astonishing.
And that was the only Players' Championship of anyone all season.
Well, the weird thing that you mentioned, the Euro Tours picked up all those Euro Tours in that year, and then we had to wait several years for him to pick up his most recent one,
which was in Jena about 6 months ago.
It was. Now Lee Evans here has got a chance to go into the lead.
Oh boy, how good was that bullseye? It doesn't get any better than that.
One German left to cheer tonight. Liam Maindel-Lawrence came close. Gabriel Clemens eventually was beaten by Damon Heta. And of course we saw Dragutin Horvat knocked out this afternoon.
We have seen a lot of people dressed as Praetorians today.
Yeah.
Is there something I'm missing?
We're not just seeing the same guys. I mean,
no. Some people had, you know, the big on brush Mohicans as well earlier. Might have just been Peter Wright fans.
Oh, behave yourself. Oh, very nearly 6 unreal darts from Peter Wright, and he's got nowhere near that first marker dart.
I saw that on Twitter earlier this week, Very Bristow doing that. I didn't think I'd see it again. That's in. Double 19. This is a weird end to this leg. Twofold.
79.
Oh, both players going for flashy double-double finishes. Peter Wright misses, Lee Evans also misses, and he's hit the double he didn't want now.
Adam Warner did that earlier.
He did, and he couldn't complete the job afterwards. Can Peter Wright?
21. Lee requires
It was an awful
19.
second dart at double 16, which got him in that mess.
For 4-1 and another break of throw.
Yes, on the
Peter
fifth
Wright is now
leg,
firmly
Lee
in trouble. And I get the feeling he's not going to go for 2 double 16s if he hits a 60.
Well, I'd quite like to see it.
Well,
Needs
maybe
to fill it.
maybe if he fills it up.
135. Lee requires 124.
I assume he's either a Peter Wright fan or he's had a rather long evening. No need to go 14s. I went for the treble 16. And he'll set it up very nicely in the way that Lee Evans is finishing. He kind of expecting this to be 5-1. And after all those encouraging signs from Peter Wright in recent games, you start now worrying about it again.
32.
He's been 50% to date. 4 hits out of 8. It will decrease, but one thing that has improved is his leg count, and that's the most important thing. Should use the bullseye with the last dart, but doesn't, and stays in 3-dart range. I think he's just realised that he should have used the centre instead of the 60.
Oh, can he take a big chunk out of this and give himself a match-winning opportunity potentially?
92.
Yeah, you know what? He's halved his score. It is a match-winning opportunity if he's allowed the chance, and he may well be, because it needs to be 2 perfect from Peter Wright. The first one isn't, so it doesn't matter. And Lee Evans has got a decision. Treble 20 for 2 match darts at double 16. Maybe the bullseye.
Most players go treble 20 these days. But that was a really, I'm going to say defensive. It was a bit cagey. If he'd have missed it just on the outside, I would have been more impressed. Are we going into another leg?
Oh, my.
We might not be.
He is 1 out of 8 on the doubles. There have been some decent attempts there, but he's wired that one, and that might be curtains for Peter Wright. The darts are done with. Is Peter Wright done with? Yes, he is. Lee Evans is through to the final day of a Euro Tour for the 2nd time in his career.
We have seen the departure of seeded players this evening. Peter Wright, you've just witnessed losing heavily to Lee Evans.
95.
Dimitri van den Berg in the first match of the night, in what would have been regarded as more of a coin flip match. Chris Dobie beating Dimitri. I think that makes it half a dozen seeds knocked out.
I think we're still at 5, aren't we? Johnny Clayton, Rob Cross, Josh Rock, and then the 2 tonight.
Correct.
Let's call it half a dozen. Why not?
138. Martin 124.
1-2-4 for the pair of them, but Shindy to get the leg against the darts. Double 11 the target. Oh, very, very good, Martin Schindler.
Yeah, top talent, and he's certainly capable of not just winning floor titles, but winning on the stage as well. And I think if he does manage to play more regularly, appear more often, we may well see Jim Williams in the deep end of some big tournaments. And we did see him.
100. 167.
Could have been different for German darts, couldn't it? 4-3 defeat to Gabriel Clemens at Ali Pali.
Oh, how about this? Are you going for it, Jim? Are you going for it? Oh, Jim goes for it and Jim gets it. 167 checkout. Is he just going to be a little bit rusty? Is he still feeling under the weather? I've not spoken to him. I don't know how he's feeling.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see. And certainly, as you mentioned, Dusvan was good yesterday, so it will be a good test, a good workout for Luke Humphries, and it might not work out
100. Jim, 145.
Martin Schindler, really good first start and only coming away with a ton. And that may not be enough, because he might have to take out the 161, which we know can be done because we saw it about 4 minutes ago.
130. Martin, 161.
Keep showing him where the bullseye is. But you've got to get there first.
55. Jim, you require 50.
Well, he wanted the 25 with his last start and hit the bull, which is why he has to tidy this up.
7.
And he hasn't managed it.
Martin, you require 106.
Martin Schindler has only had the one dart to win a leg, the first leg. He's going to get another here.
78.
Okay,
Jim, you require 8.
went his own way there. But it's a miss for Martin. Well, it's been one-way traffic in this one.
80.
Maybe a slight glimmer of hope there for Schindler, that dart on the floor, a little bit of luck.
I do remember seeing Martin Schindler come from 5-1 down on a big TV stage in the World Series to beat Michael van Gerwen.
23.
But I don't think we're going to see anything similar here, to be honest.
Was he playing like this up to that point?
No, he wasn't. Well, you would think he's going to go 16 segment here, and he's thinking about it.
Well, he went for the bullseye when he didn't need to. Now he's thinking about not going for it when he does need to.
He's gone for the bullseye now, and he's not got it. It would have left double eight, but it does give him a choice of double by going that route. It's bold, it's brave, and it's right, turns out.
Well, everything has gone right for Williams in this match, and it's gone oh so wrong for Schindler. And Williams wins the match to silence from the audience here in Munich. That is because the wall has fallen. Martin Schindler is sent packing.
Even though he's got the #1 seeding for this tournament, I think it's important that he doesn't put too much pressure on himself
57.
coming into this. You're right, he has not been well. This is just the first lane back to the road that he wants to be on. And I think because he's guaranteed places in European Tour events like Graz, Leeuwarden in the Netherlands, Belgium and Prague and Sindelfingen, there's a lot of European action over the next 6 to 7 weeks. He can just pace himself and get him back to where he really was towards the end of last year. It doesn't have to happen immediately. He'd like it to be, but it'll be very hard to do that after a little layoff.
Yeah, well, nothing explosive in this opening leg from Luke Humphries.
14.
But it's a leg he may still win against the throw.
This is arguably the finish of the day. 98 for Joe Cullen. And Humphries has done exactly the same. Good to see Luke back. Missed him the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to give you as clarity on that previous leg, Jeffrey did indeed have 178 for that setup, wasn't 164. So therefore, the Humphries decision not to go for the bull was understandable, and then Disvan doing what he did was exactly the right setup.
Correct, yeah. Jeffrey doesn't make mistakes like that.
Humphries making no mistake in this leg so far.
139.
It was food poisoning he had in Leverkusen, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'll have to text him later and ask him where he got that food and make sure I never go
58.
there. He is doing some fabulous stuff in this game so far.
137.
And in a funny sort of way, he's had a really, really busy 12 months. Having a little layoff. I know he hasn't felt 100%, but
60.
just getting that bit of rest, he might feel really energetic coming out of this. And that's a brilliant 11 darter for a 3-0 lead. Not looking back.
They're certainly capable. Luke Humphries, many think, is certainly capable of going on to win the greatest things in world darts. One of those put out after not being put in the Premier League.
96.
I think it's almost a guarantee that we'll see him in it at some point in the next 2 or 3 years.
I'd like to think so.
140.
Got to keep working hard though, and I think his goal, in a more immediate sense, he'd love to be in the World Cup or Michael Smith. That is something he really craves.
Good call. Number 5. Very nice finish. And just as it looked like Disvan had worked his way back into the match, Luke Humphries closes the door.
From his little layoff, he's not missing. Until dart 6 again.
When he had the 5 perfect darts earlier, I didn't mention at the time, but I thought it looked like a good lie to stay there, thinking he was maybe desperate to leave 1-4-4 rather than 1-4-1. Now, that time he did stay there, but he did deliberate a little bit before the last dart. I think that may be in his mind.
I think he deliberated for about 1 microsecond.
Yeah, but it was an eternity in terms of this darts match.
One thing I will say is if Luke Humphries defends his title, he will jump Rob Cross in the world rankings. And 5-1 up against Disvan is good news. He wants to get rid of the game because he doesn't want to have his engine tested. Like you say, he hasn't played a lot of darts recently, and he wants to just work that engine slowly and into the final day. He doesn't want to have to do what some other people have done. But that's perfectly done from JDZ, but it may be in vain.
Double 11 then, and Humphries gets the job done. He goes through, demolishes Disvan in the end. Luke Humphries returns to the European Tour in the same kind of form in which he left it. The winner here last year.